And we're live. Hello, everybody.
I
Thank
see
you,
Lori's
Barbara, for the thank you, Barbara, for the super chat.
I see Lori in there. Hi, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
From the Way of Positive Change.
We're getting thunderstorms Tuesday night. We were lucky, like all those storms that had the tornadoes. By the time it got to us, it was just regular thunderstorms. A little bit of high winds, but no tornadoes. But we've got that next wave coming through here Tuesday. It's supposed to have a lot of tornadic activity. Speaking of tornadoes, if you didn't see Becca's live stream with Braxy at the beach, Braxy was doing a tornado on the beach.
spinning around. Yeah, after I stopped the live, I went and I did training with her. And then we went to the other side where the waves weren't coming in, because there's like it's almost like it goes into a lagoon sort of, but it's not super deep. And she went swimming and stuff. And I mean, we were there for hours, but I was just talking to Peanut about it. I was like, how is it that we take her to the park and she runs around with her friends, and I started driving, even though the park is a block away. I've started driving because by the time she's done, I'm dragging her up the hill, and I'm like, I can't pick this dog up, so I've been driving down there. But we take her to the beach and she's exerting even more energy, and she doesn't stop. Like, she does not stop. It's like all she wants to do is run and play and swim. And
yeah, I was gonna say she's not afraid of the water now.
Skittish of the waves coming in, but I think if I were to go in the water, she would go in there too. Yeah, but
you have to watch those jellyfish so she doesn't get stung.
In the video somebody put on there what it was, something sailor, and I looked it up, and it's not toxic to humans. It doesn't sting humans, but I wouldn't want her eating them, so because I stepped on a couple and it didn't sting or nothing.
Blue sailor?
What's that?
Is it blue sailor?
I think it's like wind sailor or something sailor.
Yeah. Apparently our beach, I don't know if it was Cannon, but our beach was covered in a bunch of them, whatever it was.
Oh yeah. And then after, like, when I was walking back in the live, it looked like rocks. It was just nothing but those washed up, all over the beach. But so I want to say thank you to the person that put that on the live stream, because I had to go look. I thought they were Man of Wars, but no,
they're everything in the live stream.
But
they were such a pretty color, though. They were like a dark blue or something.
Yeah, it was like a cobalt blue, and then it had like this little clear through jelly thing on the top that looked like a sail.
Mm-hmm.
They were cool looking, but wind sailor. That's what they were saying, wind sailor. So, but I guess they're not toxic to humans.
No, they're not dangerous. Don't go playing in it or nothing. But they're not. They're supposed to be not. They're not dangerous. They think.
Yeah.
Did they have the grunion runs yet in California, where all the fish come up on the beach?
I haven't seen that yet.
Do you get them down south, or is that only like a LA area kind of thing?
Well, we're all Southern California, but I don't know. I'll have to check. Because I remember a few years ago when that one super deep sea eel thing washed up here in SoCal. There was a couple here in San Diego and then a couple in Los Angeles, and the marine biologists were like losing their minds because that's like a super deep sea creature that just washed up. Wow. So, and it washed up over by the over in La Jolla Torrey Pines, where the University of California San Diego is. They have a huge marine biologist thing there, and they were all like, what is this? So yeah, but that thing was ugly. I remember seeing it all over the news here locally, and it was like, but then again, it's a super deep sea fish, and those things they're not pretty. So
it's like when those giant squids wash up, they're deep sea also, but they occasionally wash up on a beach.
Yeah.
Yes, Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody.
Oh, yeah. For those of you that celebrate, also known as the white man's holiday to get drunk. along with what is it? The
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, yeah. And you'll see all these anti-immigration people, celebrating Cinco de Mayo, like it's like
and non-Irish people celebrating St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
Why not?
So, Peanut's birthday's coming up on Tuesday. My mom's birthday was just 3 days ago. So that was a little tough, but a lot of tourists. And then Johnny's birthday's coming up this month. This guy right here.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot.
I took Johnny's birthday off to celebrate.
What
Any
day?
want to go live?
Are you going to make yourself a cake, or are you going to go buy one?
No, I don't ever buy it. Somebody else does.
Oh, okay.
It's a Friday.
Becca, you should make him one. You haven't done a cake baking video in a while. We laughed so hard in your last one. It was awesome. As we're screaming at the screen, knowing you can't hear us.
You can just hear me in the kitchen. Oh no! Because
I'll take it out.
I'll make you a cake, Johnny, and I'll eat it for you too, so the calories don't count.
Oh, Lori from The Way of Positive Change sent me cookies. They're not here yet, but
she sent you what?
Cookies. So that's what I will have for my birthday.
Oh.
She said she got enough to share, and then I had to remind her sharing is for children, and we don't do that here. So.
I just ordered on Amazon because I kept seeing commercials for it. The Nutella cookies, they're like a biscuit, but then it's got Nutella on the inside, like a Nutella filling.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting those in France, and I couldn't stop eating them, but I haven't been able to find them here. And I even went to World Market, and they didn't have them. So I ordered them on Amazon. So I'll get my Nutella cookies here soon. And I made brownies last night, Johnny, that I'm going to hide. I don't know where I'm going to hide it, but I'm going to hide it.
I pray you get to taste it.
I know. Oh,
Something tells me Peanut will find them wherever you hide them.
I know. I was like, man, my blood sugar was low. I was like, you have a whole fridge freaking full of juice, man. Like, I'm dying. My
You
blood
should make a dessert
low.
with juice. He doesn't seem to like that very much.
He's got the whole bar fridge
boxes.
just full of juice, But whatever.
I have to figure out with Johnny in June when my seminar's going on. We have 2 Sunday night lives while I'm in Portland. So maybe sitting in the room together with Johnny doing the Sunday night live.
That'll be fun. I wish I could be there with you guys, but
I sat in the room with you and ate cheese sticks and marinara.
The cheese sticks I made for you. When we were talking about, what was his name? The white supremacist guy, Nick Fuentes. And then how he's, I remember that conversation. What's that word that the guys are calling themselves? Those white supremacists that can't get a woman. There's a word that they use for it.
Trumps.
What is it?
Dumb.
No, they have like a specific word that they're using, and we were cracking jokes, and I had said that his own hand probably throws up when he touches himself. And Johnny, incels, there you go, incels. And Johnny lost it. But I remember that.
Well, it's weird.
Next month, isn't it?
Yeah, seminar's coming up. I'm getting excited. I've been ordering supplies for the seminar and stuff and getting ready, getting excited.
Are you all sold out?
It's sold out. Sold
Good
out
job, folks.
into March.
Good
We'll be
job.
launching one for September, October timeframe, but it's not quite ready on the website yet. So anything going on, guys?
I don't think.
We've got this weird weather going on. Like I had a t-shirt on and I was cold. So I had to go put on a sweatshirt and I got hot. I was like, okay, this one's too hot. So I found this sweatshirt, which is lighter weight. And I'm like, okay, this is like a long sleeve t-shirt kind of. It's that in between weather. I hate that time.
Seasons are changing. The earth wobbles. It doesn't like perfectly rotate, but it does that back and forth. So we're in that back and forth stage where we're getting the hot and the cold day.
I haven't seen a cicada yet, but that's all they're talking about on the news. Like we're on cicada watch.
It's 56 here. It was 73 days ago or something like that, but it's 56 now.
We got up to 69 today. We were in the 70s earlier in the week, but we were 69 today, but we're dropping to 44 tonight. So I still have my heat on.
I'll take it. When it gets hot, I'm going to start complaining. So
I'm over here dreading it because last year, the last couple of years, we get what we call May gray and June gloom, where it's just gloomy and overcast the whole time, and then it's July fry. Well, the last couple of years, it has stuck around until like August, September. And I loved it because it was like, I don't like the sunshine. And now it's just been sunshine. I'm like, I am sick of this. Like,
you need some rain.
Where's the miserable weather? But last night, my phone said it was 59 degrees. I'm like, it doesn't feel like 59. It felt like mid 60s, upper 70s, you know, but yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to it. I hate the summer.
I've got appointments in September. If anyone would like a reading, go to jenlyntarot.com website. Or if you'd like to purchase a gift card, like for Mother's Day for somebody, jenlyntarot.com. Mother's Day next week.
Mm-hmm. And I am back to doing personal readings again. So 1 hours and grand tableaus. So...
yeah, the grand tableaus take a couple hours, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm going to mute myself because Braxy's over there having a whole conversation with the neighbor's dog.
That's my girl. And Johnny, you got a class wrapping up, and then your new one doesn't start till after the seminar, right?
The new one started today.
Oh, it started today. You're squeezing one in.
It ends actually the weekend of the seminar, right before. And then I'm done for the rest of the year with pretty much anything or everything. And then next year we'll start again. Unless something changes, then I'll let you know.
And you had your advanced class.
That started Saturday.
You have a new one?
That one and Sunday for the beginner class.
So let's see. We got to start with Hope Hicks crying on the stand. Why was she crying? I mean, I know she worked for Trump at Trump org before she went into the White House and was friends with Ivanka and stuff. But why was she crying? And she wouldn't even look at Trump when she walked by. Is he like a daddy figure to her, or something more than that? Or just she just loves him that much that it hurt her that she had to testify against him? Why was she crying? I can't remember what reporter it was that was sitting there. She said, I was making notes on my phone, to put into articles later or to be able to talk about things, like so I could quote things. And she goes, all of a sudden I heard her like crying and looked up and was like, oh my God, the girl's losing it. Or were they fake tears?
I think they are real because I get the Five of Cups, which is grief and sorrow and loss and that type of thing. However, it's the grief and the sorrow with the Emperor. So there's like a loss of the life that once was. I think she believed in it at the time, and she's having some recollections. I don't know if she's had any therapy, but if not, she needs it. That's not even a shot. That's like for real, for real. She needs it because Donald Trump is not somebody to cry over. Period. Unless
He's never going to cry over you.
exactly. The only way that you need to shed some tears is if he fell on you or something like that. But other than that, no. But there is something around the life that was once lived with the Three of Cups and the party and the Ace of Wands. Like that was their thing. And then here, it feels a little different for whatever reason. Maybe she's just going through something in particular at that time, but it feels a little different. It's a feelings, it's an overflow. She's not in control of it, so I think she's going to cry a little bit more in private, but I think it's real. I just don't think it's necessary. I'll say it that. But your feelings are your feelings, so there you go.
I get it's a few things. I get like she feels like she tarnished his image when she spoke and talked about the communication like between him and Michael Cohen and the manipulation of the payments and all that. I think she does think of him as like family, and she felt like she was backstabbing him. She was very anxious, but I guess she spoke her truth, and is learning from this. She's quite naive, but she also knows like she's not going to get asked to work for him again. She's going to be blocked from that. So it's like the end of her career, so to speak.
I just get that she was under a lot of consistent pressure. That's it.
So a lot of people were saying that was basically nailing the nail in the coffin for Trump's defense. What did Trump think of Hope Hicks's testimony? Brexy has a booming bark.
This is the little girl with the black hair, right? I think he feels bad for her, but not because he is some sort of gentle soul. But it starts with temperance. Temperance is reconciliation. This is like trying to mend a fence in your relationship. Then there's the Six of Swords, which is a transition into like a calmer time from a horrible time. And then there is the Knight of Cups. Thank you, JC. There is a Knight of Cups, which is like an offer. This is also wit and charm and romance, but there's like an offer of some sorts. And then there's the nostalgia and the Knight of Pentacles. He kind of want to go back to when she was on his payroll, on his staff or something like that. Like there's a part of him that feels bad for her. Or not bad, but wants things to be okay between him and her. So he doesn't feel bad that she's crying, or it didn't answer about the testimony. It just basically says he wants her back into the fold, basically.
Yeah, I think because she was friends with Melania, he thought he had her support. He thought, oh, victory. They've called Hope Hicks, like she's in my pocket. And then once the lawyers got a hold of him, he's like, uh-oh. So I think he is concerned about her testimony. He's looking at her differently now and casting a little judgment on her. So I think his opinion of her has changed. And I think he felt betrayed and that she he thinks that she might have been pressured by Biden, the witch hunt. The witch hunt. But yeah, I get he felt betrayed by her. What you getting, Becca?
Ultimately angry because it ends in the whip. But it's not just this thing about the financial payments, the financial mail for sex here. There's finance, mail, sex. There's the anger and the criticism. She also, he's angry, but there's a lot of other stuff outside of this situation where a lot of resources, loads of money were made as well outside of this whole Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal situation that she knows about. So it says that he's angry, and it's almost like the executive perhaps will put out mail or written news with a criticism, which I'll believe it when I see it because she's Ivanka's BFF, but ultimately I get that he was angry about the thing.
She's testified to Jack Smith's grand jury, so
she has.
She's going to come up again. You better watch out.
This is the coffin, the stars, the bear, the letter, and the whip. So he knows he's done. It's a loss. But the 3 cards in the middle are talking about stuff that was done at the guidance of the executive. There's mail there, and there's financial stuff too. So I don't know what that's about, but he angry, and this ain't the end of it.
It's because of her they got to do the Access Hollywood tape, to the jury. So, and we don't know for sure if Michael Cohen's going to testify or not. They don't really need him, but his name has come up over and over again. How is the jury as a collective feeling right now? Is there any jury member that's going to cast doubt and cause a hung jury? I think the other day, I think he didn't even have one supporter outside for him. Bless his little heart.
They're not ready for any kind of verdict or anything right now. There would be the jury for Wands, challenge 6 of Pentacles, so they don't really have anything to share. Wheel of Fortune, though, this is just something that takes time. They will eventually. Here with the Ace of Cups, though, for his, I don't want to say benefit, but I'll say to his benefit, I guess. There is someone who is going to become emotionally attached to their belief. So not so much the law, but to their feeling. But it's not in his favor, though. It's more like he's guilty and I know it, I feel it type of thing, instead of I see it in front of me, which is what the jury's supposed to go on. What's in front of me is what I see, and this is what I'm going to deliberate on. There is a person who gets quite emotional, but it's not in his favor, but they'll come to a decision over time. I think they'll all be together. For now, that's what I see.
Yeah, I think they'll come together. I think there's going to be like one holdout that's a little bit of a problem, but they managed to get them back. There'll be a little bickering or whatever to get them back together. But I get that, they're waiting, before doing the verdict. But I get right now they're kind of on the same page. So they're like one big happy family. But I think one of them, they're going to be asking for details about something to go over, because there's like one holdout on one of the details. But yeah, this is going to take some time, so they're not even ready to go into whatever you call that with the jury, where they go out and discuss.
How are they feeling about him so far? They view him as someone that is very childish, immature, and flippy floppy. It's the bouquet, the ring, the child, the fish, and the storks. Those last two cards are action cards. He flip flops, and he's in abundance of immaturity. They're just seeing it. They're seeing how he's acting in court. I don't know if the jury is present when Judge Mershon has had to ask him about violations of gag orders. I don't know if the jury is sitting in on that, but he's making the case for I'm an idiot, so.
Yeah, his lawyer, Todd Blanche, was reading Michael Cohen's tweets in court.
Why?
Donald on shits and pants.
That's in the court record now, Johnny. Don
Yes.
shits his pants.
Shits and pants. It's like, because of the gag order, it's like, okay, well, Michael Cohen is saying stuff like this, and my client can't respond or whatever. So they went on and on and on saying Donald von Schützenpants over and over and over again in the court. How did Donald feel about that?
Oh my God, bless his heart.
And it's his lawyer's fault, because his lawyer read the tweet.
And it started trending on Twitter. So it was number one trending on Twitter, von Schitz's pants. So
and
that
probably
was
still on Twitter trending. And it's my thumbnail today. Or no, on my questions, when I ask for questions.
Grief and sorrow. And then the moon he thinks it's an attack against him, but he doesn't know what to do. Bless your heart. You know what you could do, though, is you could try not to be a horrible person. If this was Bruce Willis, who's going through dementia right now, nobody would make fun of him. Donald Trump is a completely different story.
It's a witch hunt. I didn't commit any crimes, but I get immunity for the crimes I didn't commit. He talks out of both sides of his ass. His shits and pants.
And for that whole presidential immunity thing, over 250 years, 44 presidents prior to him, nobody's ever needed it. Nobody's ever needed it except this one guy. And somehow he wants them to make a footnote. This only applies to Donald J. Trump, because the powers that he's wanting, he wouldn't like if Biden had him, and Biden can just go call SEAL Team 6 and, hey, go take care of that problem. Why not presidential immunity? How did he feel?
Know what you're asking for.
I get he wanted to run out of there. And it's not just run out of there. It's also about getting the runs because there's 3 action cards here. Action, action. So take that for whatever you
Oh my God. Well, he tells his lawyer every tactic to do, everything to do, and everything. He's not letting his lawyer be a what I've heard, he should be a really good lawyer. So, he thought that this would get calmer with his lawyer, but now he's looking at it differently because anxiety because of the details that came out. He's feeling defensive, childish, very moody, very upset, very depressed, angry, all of the above. And I think he's also concerned about, did Melania hear this?
Jenny, if I may, I don't know if you saw the Twitter image that I sent you. You can't make this up, you guys. This is the sad state of MAGA. So when Von Schitz's pants started trending and people started, everybody's been calling him Diaper Donnie and he wears diapers and this, that. MAGA made this huge flag, kind of like the POW flag, but it has a picture of Trump and it says real men wear diapers. And I'm like, this is not the flex you think it is. Oh boy, like, this is not the flex you think it is. Like, they're trying to own it. Like, yeah, we're proud. It's like,
yeah. Real men wear diapers on merchandise, on flags, and everything else. That was going to be my next question.
Oh, so, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It was a great segue. It's like real men wear diapers. So they're owning that he's an old man who has no control over his bowels, who's farting in court, who's falling asleep in court, but they're okay. Make him our dictator.
It's not the flex they think it is. It's like, you have these men that are, what is it? Toxic masculinity, that just want to be the alpha. But then at the same time, real men wear diapers. It's like, what?
It's not the same as, somebody's dad or grandpa who's lived their life and was that person that you would do you'd walk over hot coals for type of thing, and he would do the same for you. And in his later age, or if he had a stroke or whatever the case may be, okay, he wears diapers. Fine. Donald Trump is a completely different subject because he has worked overtime at being a horrible person. And now he's got something to where everybody gets to make fun of you about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and this has been going a lot longer than an older man in his 70s. If you listen to Noel Kessler, because he's snorted so much Adderall, he's lost control of his bowels and stuff. So he's been wearing diapers for decades.
Joyce is saying they have another one too, diapers over Dems.
Yeah. That's they're going to vote Republican no matter what.
You cannot go ahead and make fun of Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, this, that, and the other thing. But hey, our fearless leader wears diapers and we're proud,
I mean, I guarantee you, if they found out that Joe Biden wears diapers because he has an incontinence issue, they'd be all over that. Like, oh, he's weak.
Mm-hmm.
What's the question?
Oh
So what does Trump think of this real men wear diapers campaign that's now showing up at his rallies? Like, they're holding signs at his rallies and stuff.
They look like the POW flags, but with a picture of Trump. I just, gold diapers next. Yeah, probably. He'll probably start selling gold diapers.
I had that as a
funny
meme.
Meme
1 week on their thumbnail. The gold diapers after his gold tennis shoes came out.
Oh my God. I can't. See, then you can wear the diapers and the shoes to the next Trump rally and look like a garbage pail kid.
He got his gold diaper and his gold shoes on. What's his rapper name then? Because that's what you would look like.
Yeah, I said once in a video, Sir Flush-a-Lots. When Adrian asked me that, He doesn't flush though. He's in diapers, so there soils a lot.
DJ Stinky Butt. There is 2 of Wands, a plan, success or illumination, bringing light to this. There is some way to make money from this, or to turn this into like merchandise or something you can mass produce. There's some way to do it, and then that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, he hasn't figured out how to bill his constituents every time they put his name on something.
Real men wear pink. That's where they were taking that from. But that was for breast cancer. It had nothing to do with some fake billionaire loser crapping his pants because he blew out his nose, which messed up his brain, which messed up his confidence.
He is feeling defensive about it, though. It's like, trying to be stoic or whatever, and he's working with people on messaging to try to come up with some new way of messaging to help his image. He's worried about his image here. He thinks his image just got trashed, and that it's a little bit childish, but he's feeling defensive, even though it's the truth. He's feeling defensive. He will try to figure out a way to grift off this. He's returning to what he always does. He's wondering how Melania views it.
She don't care. She doesn't really care. Do you? They don't even live in the same house.
That's a shame.
I mean, you're in court over a porn star and a Playboy bunny, so for entertainment purposes only, YouTube, this is reality.
That he had an affair with for the entirety of Melania's pregnancy.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't even feel bad for him. Like, you work extra time at being a horrible person in every aspect of your life.
I don't know. I get that he acknowledges that he's losing support. Ring and mice. The support, he's losing it. It's dwindling away. But with that said, trying to turn this around for money, another grift. So it's and then it's followed by the storks, the fish, and the key. Okay, I'm losing support. How can I grift off of this? I need more money. You know.
You know how Merchan gave him $1,000 for each offense of the gag order, so he had $9,000 he had to pay. Somebody in the comments said he had to make 2 payments, $2,000 and $7,000. So I didn't research that to see if that was correct or not, but it's like, man, that's pretty bad if he can't even come up with $9,000.
Jenny, do you remember that article I sent you? I think it was was it Daily Wire or something like that? Some investigative report where they found that LLC or whatever it was, and it looks like he's been using that to pay people, witnesses to hush. I think I sent it to you. But if he's doing that, then he ain't got money, dude.
What's his current state then? Like, if you got $9,000 sitting around, you have a plane, for goodness sake. How do you have $9,000 sitting around?
That's a few hundred Bibles he's got to sell, and I don't think those did very well.
Remember how Stephen Miller a couple of weeks ago said that Trump was a trendsetter and how he dresses, that people tried to emulate it? Are we going to see a bunch of men wearing diapers now at his rallies?
Or I'm telling you, gold diapers with the gold shoes, Jen, and a dead possum on their head with an orange tan.
God, he's face.
Okay. You know what's funny? I thought it flashed, and I thought this was somebody with orange hair, but that's not what it is. It is the Justice card, though, so maybe that means something. Right?
He's such a trendsetter. Real men wear diapers. Are they all going to start wearing diapers now?
Wear them if you want to.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I can't.
Sometimes you laugh too hard, and it just, sometimes you can't hold it. But
If you love him so much, you want to emulate him.
Well, his rallies now are like, either at the airport or in a church or whatever. Like he's not getting the big rally locations anymore.
Yeah, and how much of them are because he never pays his bills, Jen, and they had to go to collections for the cities. Innocent Potato is saying that would make a really great Halloween costume right before the November 5th election.
Halloween in June, because they're probably going to do it soon. The Page of Cups is naive, and as a person who they can be led to believe just about anything because they have a sort of an innocent nature about them. They don't mean harm, and you shouldn't mean them any harm because you can really win them over with just little of nothing. This could be I think it's maybe one person. And those who are learning tarot, who are in the class, we're going to talk about this one next week, but I'll give you a little sneak preview today. This is close enough to the Rider-Waite. You see the horns on the two people there? That is because the more time they spend in the presence of the devil, the more they conform to his image instead of their original one. So the more you spend in this cult, the more you want to emulate your cult leader. And yes, I do believe there will be one person walking around with gold shoes and a diaper with a sign and a red hat on. Now, they're going to be doing a sort of cosplay, but at the same time, the mentality behind a person to get all done up like this to say they still believe in Donald Trump is gone. You can't fix that person at all.
TC Ryder says that he did pay 2 cashier's checks, one for $7,000 and one for $2,000. We're going to read on that next.
He ain't got $9,000.
He doesn't have $9,000. I think men are going to put women up at these rallies to doing it. Like, y'all get creative and do it because, strong men, real men, at the root of this, put their women up to wearing the diaper. So, and I get there'll definitely be a grift off this, from Trump. But again, they're gonna get the women to move on this.
Well, that would go against their little flags that they're selling that says real men wear diapers.
Real men wear diapers, but I'm gonna make my woman put them on for me.
I get. Yeah, at a rally, at somewhere where there's an audience, there's a large group of people. I don't have any character cards other than the pip on the heart, which is the Jack of Hearts. So maybe, one person at a rally or something. I don't know. But the garden is a very large group of people. So I would anticipate, somebody's going to be walking around, parading around. Oh my God, a Trump parade. There you go. A Trump parade with all the cultists marching.
You know what happened the last time they had a Trump parade? All y'all sank to the bottom of the darn lake.
Yeah.
The Trump Navy.
Poseidon was like, not today, Mitch.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. And all their boats sink.
You might want to be careful.
This is the universe saying no.
Y'all sank. Oh, Lord have mercy.
They probably made their boats out of Trump diapers.
Unbelievable.
Stay afloat.
They do float, though. You put them on your arm like little floaties.
Little floaties. Little armband floaties.
Oh, gives a new word to depend, I suppose. So
my face hurts.
Don't say hearts, Jesus.
All right, $9,000. He had to break it up into 2 cashier's checks, $7,000 and $2,000. What the hell? Could he not come up with $9,000?
That's all I got for you.
He's going to need some of those soon, Johnny.
Oh, Lord. You see him at the Walgreens trying to buy a Diet Coke. He put that on the Sir, we don't know what that is.
$9,000. Did he struggle to come up with that? What was the deal? Multi-billionaire.
Now, is there a limit? I don't know. No, there's not.
Mm-mm.
Well, not because I'm thinking, is there a limit on the cashier's check type of
No,
thing?
because you're giving them the cash or taking it out of your checking account or whatever to do the cashier's check.
I just seen somebody pay $20,000 or $10,000 with a cashier's check. So I guess so.
You close on a house, you got to take your closing costs and stuff on a check. Well, I just paid my taxes and I could come up with. Does Jen Lynn Thoreau have more money than Donald Trump?
I think all of us probably do at this point. I don't care how broke you are. If you
I'm not the wealthiest person.
If you got $2 to your name, you probably have more wealth than Donald Trump at this point.
It's hard. Get that wheelbarrow full of pennies, buddy.
Wheelbarrow.
You didn't see him at what they call it, the coin star, sitting there, putting all them coins in there, take it to the cashier.
He's taking all his rolls of pennies up to pay his $9,000.
He's going to Mar-a-Lago at the couches and the chairs, jigging for coins.
For those new to the channel, these jokes go way back. You have to go back and watch old Sunday nights to catch these jokes.
I bet you Barry ain't never got a penny from the Tooth Fairy. I always took it. There was defeat within that offer. So the Five of Swords and the Knight of Cups. The High Priestess and the Nine of Cups just came from somewhere else. He didn't pay for that. I don't know who, because I don't get any court cards. Well, I got the Queen of Wands, but it didn't come from her. That was in a different position. But there's a Seven of Swords in the Moon, too, with the Devil, naturally. This came from somebody else, but he knows he doesn't have or didn't want to pay $9,000. Somebody gave it to him, and then
I just heard Melania look in the sofa cushions.
I don't care, Donald, do you?
My guy's being petty with me tonight.
Check that one, yes, check it again.
Look under the mattress. Look everywhere. I don't have enough. He had to work up the details. It's like and this is routine. Like he's always scripping around for money and getting quite emotional about it. I get that it may be coming from some dark money from overseas, even, but there's something sneaky and manipulated about the money he came up with, and he lied about where it came from.
And what this was for the gag order?
Yeah, his $9,000 for violating the gag order. It was $1,000 per charge, nine charges, so $1,000 per charge.
And mind you, there's still another hearing, I think, coming up for other violations, correct? Because he hasn't violated since Judge Mershon said, "Oh, and the next time you're going to jail." And then I think he turned around and started asking the judge for permission after that. Why did he have to split it up into 2 checks? Because of fraud, he ain't got a job and he can't get to the things he needs to get to. It's the fox, the child, the scythe. Fraud. Something new, something small, cut off. And then his avenues where he could go to get, well, those are closed too. And then the Fox, the Scythe, and the Coffin job cut off and ended. So like working. So I don't know if this ties back to the Letitia James portion of it, where they've cut everything off and there's somebody that's overseeing all that stuff, but he can't get to it. It's closed. So, and he ain't got a job. Fox, Scythe, and Coffin. So
no job prospects in sight. Nobody wants to hire him.
We fired you once. The American people fired you once. We ain't trying to hire you again, homeboy. Like,
I'm surprised he didn't take pieces of his cut up suit and put on the counter and say, "Here's $9,000 worth of suit."
What you got in that shiny bag, Johnny?
I got this. My purse. Okay, Donald.
Johnny, you're a better person than me because I would give that SOB a penny.
That's 30 cents. That's 33, and I want my change. You can't have my $50 though. No, that's a $1. You definitely can't have that. Okay, I got 33 on it. I want my change back. I want to see that receipt when you finish. It's going to be his laundry money in jail.
Now, do you think he would rather do his laundry or do his makeup because of how vain he is? Because he clearly doesn't care that he stinks, even though he got really offended and he was like, "I don't smell bad." So if he went to prison, and the little allowance that they get, do you think he would spend it on washing his laundry or buying his makeup and doing his hair? Because he's bald. All up here, he's bald.
Yeah, so that last picture they showed, it was like a big old lift to the scalp.
And his makeup is not even done. It's like he just does this and goes.
No, Johnny, he goes like this.
Like goes to here and then it stops. It's not even.
Johnny, he goes like this. He goes in his diapers, digs something out, rubs it in his. It goes like.
I'm not fooling y'all today.
I think it was Michael Cohen or somebody said that he's got to be worried about wearing an orange jumpsuit because you got to strip down to go to the bathroom, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't be in general population anyway, so he should be all right.
No, they probably, if anything, they would put him, if he were to go to prison, he would probably go to like a military prison or something like that.
He'd go house arrest, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
He ain't going to Rikers or anything like that. That's a really bad security risk. Not that he isn't one already.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
They're trying to figure out how to have Secret Service in there with them, like take a whole cell block and they get to get out of their cells.
Don't put them in prison too, like God.
Well, that one guy, who was it? Benny Thompson was trying to pass that bill for
take away Secret Service.
To take away, not that it would pass in this house, but we ain't got long till the next election.
So, is Trump? Is he afraid of going to jail? Because he keeps saying, "Throw me in jail," like he's all talk, bluff.
Mary Trump just she was doing some one of these shows. She said, "Never believe that the last place on earth he wants to be is prison."
Excuse me.
So he wanted to go to jail because he's scared.
My magnolia trees burst into bloom. Everything's blooming.
Oh, my allergies came back. Oh. Is he afraid? Yes, but not for the reason that I would think, because prison is prison. That's what you should be afraid of. But it's more like a loss of money, popularity, status, reach, that type of thing, because it starts with the Eight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, so it's like stuff. All the bits and baubles, and then the work that he could do outside, and the rallies and all the pep rallies he would go to, and the importance that he would feel. All of that would change. So he's afraid of the change of way of life. So it's more thinking about what you're leaving behind instead of what you do. He doesn't fear the prison part because he's never been necessarily. So maybe it's hard for him to fear the unknown, but he would fear not having anything, the loss.
Yeah, because he's naive about jail. He knows nothing about it. But I get, yeah, he's afraid of like prison fights, that kind of thing. He's also like trying to figure out how can I grift off it if I do, just like his T-shirts with his mugshot on it. But yeah, he's afraid of treachery in jail. And I think he thinks Melania will also leave his ass as soon as he goes to jail. Like that would be the breakup. Yeah, but it's causing big problems in him. He's the way that he thinks about it. He can't deal. He can't cope.
Is he afraid? Yes, but not because of isolation, but because of it. It would be an obstacle and a blockage to doing the things that bring him pleasure. That because it's the bouquet, the anchor, and the mountain. Yes, but it's not because of isolation. It's because he's blocked from a pleasurable, and this would be lifestyle. So his entire life, his easy gifted lifestyle, he wouldn't have.
There's no golfing in prison. There's no porn stars in prison. There's no
prisoner 9051112. Where's the golf course?
There's no rallies with cult members that are just feeding his narcissistic need. So I'm with Johnny. It's not because of jail. It's because of his lifestyle.
Which I can understand.
I couldn't. I'd be worried about surviving in prison.
Me too.
Not so much about, I really miss driving to Starbucks. I'd be like, no, I don't want to be here.
Because I'm sitting in the cell with somebody and I say, where's the bathroom? And they say right there. And I'm thinking, right there where? In front of everybody? That's jail.
In my orange jumpsuit, I got to completely strip from to sit on it.
Well, he shouldn't feel so bad, though, because he's 6'4", 250 pounds, Jen. Not 800 pounds, 250 pounds.
He's strong. He was able to pick a pin up off the ground the other day at a rally. He's so physically fit. Bubba down the hall is going to be asking you to pick up a bar of soap up. So,
because he gets all that exercise. He gets all that exercise. He gets all that exercise from being such a fantastic athlete at golf. Because golf is so athletic. Yeah, I don't get it. The whole golf thing, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how that's a sport. I really don't. You're hitting a ball into a hole you can't see, and you're not even walking there. You're driving.
It takes a skill to do it.
I don't understand golf. Maybe it's just
because you can't just hit the ball. You have to aim and all that other good stuff. But I can't do it.
But Johnny, they're not even holding their own golf stuff. The caddy is. All they're doing is just swinging. That's all. You don't even walk to the next one. They drive you there. I don't understand.
Well, he paid his $9,000. He paid his $9,000 for the gag order, but he's already breaking it again. So, is Judge Mershon going to confine him? Because that's going to be the only thing that makes him shut up. I was laughing. Somebody. I don't know, maybe it was on SNL, said that Trump passed a yellow Post-it note to his lawyer in the trial. They were like, it probably said, I can't, you're not getting paid. I can't pay you. Let's see. But is he going to get confined? We've looked at this before and we got, no, they're going to do monetary things first. But now that he's still doing it, is he going to get confined?
There is the attempt, once again, With the strength card, strength is not force. It's gentility. It's a little grace, a little mercy sometimes to answer the wrath with a softer voice. And so you don't meet the person with the same energy they're giving you. The problem is you're wearing thin the patience of those who are supposed to be not necessarily on your side, but are not trying to punish you necessarily. They would like the case to just go on as normal. But what I think these judges need to understand beforehand, which I don't know why they're not seeing the same thing as the lemmings who keep falling off the cliff. This is not a normal person. You can't start small and then go a little bit smaller and then a little. You have to say, okay, first time it was a violation and I'm throwing you in jail like I would anybody else. Here is the Five of Pentacles. So there is some throwing out in the cold. So this is an extreme possibility. The Six of Wands is not the Six of Wands, but the King of Wands is an authority, someone hauling you off somewhere. So there is an extreme possibility for him to be burdened by this, but he does have some leniency first. Again.
Yeah, I think he's going to fine him again. I think he's going to give him one more shot, and then that's it. Because he's had enough. It's like, you know, he knows this is going to go. So I'm getting he gives him like one more shot. You know, charges him. You know, he can only charge the most is 1,000 per violation. So it'll be that $1,000, but it'll be a lot of money because there's going to be multiple violations again that he's charging the loser. So, but I get a yes. He's going to reach a point where he's like, okay, that's it. I've got to take a stronger action here and push him into prison.
I have a question after this.
I get a yes. I get like yes. Like there's news that that's enough. That's it. Like, because it's Rider, Cross, and then Storks. That remember last week that was your last chance, you know. So there's
This
news
is supposed to be it.
Yeah, news of a burden, news of a sacrifice. There's going to be suffering here, and that, yes, the suffering increases. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'll believe it when I see it, but you best believe if it does happen, I'm gonna open me up a bottle of champagne because I just want to see him in jail.
Yeah. I don't care if it's for 30 days or 10 days or 2 days. I just want to see him have to spend a night in jail.
Mm-hmm.
What's your question, Jody?
What would it take for him to stick to a gag order? What's the thing that would scare him enough that he would actually stop? Would it be literally his hands falling off, or what is it?
Tape over the mouth.
Tape over the mouth or a shock collar. You know, like
what is the thing they use, the sex toy thing where they put the
all of his violations aren't verbal. Isn't he tweeting and all that other garbage too?
Yeah, he's tweeting too.
Like what's it gonna take?
He says it and then he tweets it and then he films himself doing little videos saying it, and it's just on and on.
I don't get it. Like somebody told me,
okay, thank you,
fighting for your freedom, let the lawyer handle this. I'm thinking, but whatever.
Y'all knew what I was talking about. You know, Pulp Fiction. There's a guy that had that. That's how I know about him.
I was moving on from that, Jim. You circled back to it. I mean, your business is still your business, but I'm saying
from the movie Pulp Fiction. If Becca pulled the coffin, I'm going to die laughing as if that's what it's.
No, I got the tower. What is it going to take? Isolation. The law and an order from the law that increases what has to be done, and isolation. That's where it ends up. That's the last card. You're going to have to isolate him. Stop issuing threats. Let him know, oh, this is, set the rules out. These are the games and the rules that we're playing, the rules of the game, and let him keep doing it. Let him keep doing it. But when you say this is your last strike, this means this is your last strike, not, oh, well, no. It ends with this, isolation. That's it.
Blocking him, isolating his communication, isolating it. So jail, securing him somehow with strength, because the money isn't getting it done.
Isolation. Four of Pentacles, Hermit, both the cards of isolation, especially from the negative words, negative news, negative talk. You may have to literally put him in a room with no
the Trump Bible. Give him a Trump Bible. Let him sit there and read his Bible in his cell.
Did you guys see the Howard? Did you guys see after the, when he leaves the court, he likes to go out and do his little press conference and spin BS. And then he was saying, I want to testify, but because of the gag order, I can't talk about anything. Yeah, the gag order doesn't apply to you taking the stand, but he knows his supporters are too stupid to realize that, so he's trying to say that he wants to testify, but the judge is gagging him from testifying.
That was Thursday night, and Friday morning, the first thing Judge Merchan said, no, your constitutional right is to testify. That's not true. Called him on it. First thing.
Yep. And I don't even know why I understand why there's cameras there. This is the first time in our long history that we have ever had a former president going through criminal trial. One of many. Okay. The first one of many. I understand the importance of it. But when he starts spewing bullcrap, cut him off. That man gaslighted us for 4 whole years. We don't need more. Mute him, so.
I think that's good they get him on camera, though, because that's evidence.
Yeah.
Like, Jack Smith's got more evidence now than he had from, all the people testifying to the grand jury.
And the more interviews he does, the more he tells on himself. It's like, Lord, I've never seen a stupider criminal in my life.
So Ivanka, according to, I think it was Vanity Fair, said that she's interested in getting involved in his campaign again, in Daddy's campaign. Why now? You distanced yourself. We haven't heard boo from you in ages. You're not getting enough attention. You got $2 billion from the Saudis. Why do you need to get involved with Daddy? You got more money than Daddy has.
He made her, basically. Tarot is a very interesting thing. He was the fool for so long, and now it's like it kept up with the shift in energy type thing to where
now he's the loser.
He made her basically because he's concerned about votes and isolation. So he wants all hands on deck. I'm surprised Barron and Tiffany ain't out there.
I get that she's not. It's gaslighting. Because that loyalty and friendship and all that stuff with the family, it is shady AF. It is not good. They don't trust her. She doesn't trust them. She's just saying it for the news. That's it. So the whole fake news, look at Ivanka Trump. Because I want to go on Daddy's campaign. And she knows from previous experience that everybody in the previous administration, the loyalists, the bootlickers, everybody, they're in trouble because it's House, so the family, but also the previous administration, the tight-knit entourage, then Clover, opportunity, dog, friendships and loyalties, followed by the clouds. She don't want nothing to do with that because she knows all those people are getting in trouble and the news about those people getting in trouble. She's just saying that to gaslight, basically. She don't want to. She's sitting there waiting for the FBI to show up at their door about her husband, Jared Kushner, and her business dealings while they were in the administration, you know?
I think so, because there's like, I think she thinks he's going to jail. You know, and the family strength is dwindling and under all this pressure and everything's changed. So, she's anxious about that, but she's trying to put on a happy face for the family or for the image of the family. So thank you, Patty. Probably for future money she can make off the brand, the Trump brand. She's waiting on somebody to come knocking on their door and bully them too.
It is so simple to not be a criminal, I think.
Yeah. Do the right thing. So I want to ask, we've asked this before, but in light of all this, well, Trump hasn't picked a VP person yet, but will his VP pick be running in place of him on election day because he's not there? Will his VP pick be running instead of him? And that would mean the RNC and the, you know, got everybody together to vote again on who the pick is if he's not there. But
Good, he's still there. There's the devil in chains, the Knight of Wands progression. There is, however, grave concern about not winning because there's not enough resource there. So not enough votes, not enough this, not enough that. I don't think his VP is going to get a surge of interest into the Trump campaign. I don't believe, I mean, I'm naive in this one, I understand, but I don't believe there's such a thing right now as an undecided voter. Now, there is an uncommitted voter because of the whole Gaza thing, but there's not an undecided. You kind of know. You don't want to commit because you want a ceasefire. That's different than not knowing which one to choose. But I think he is indeed going to lose, and they're concerned about that part, but he might be there.
I think, yeah, it's very erratic energy around this. But I think, like, to defend their messaging, they're going to try to find somebody that can bring healing because his VP pick is out in the cold from that. So his VP pick is going to be controversial too. So I get like they have to look into their options, find somebody else. But I get a note they changed to somebody else. Probably a woman.
Who's in the running? It's something Scott, the black dude.
Yeah, Tim Scott. You got I've heard Marco Rubio's name tossed around, which I can't imagine because Trump never liked him. You got puppy killer Kristi Noem, which he might like that because he's not an animal lover, and that might actually appeal to him.
Somebody quoted him saying he said, "What's wrong with her?" or something like. I seen that on Twitter, but I don't know who said it because I didn't keep note of that because it was just one of them scrolling type things. But she's getting a lot of negative press, and so. But again, it's a Republican, so. Yeah,
she had a long affair with Corey Lewandowski while she was married. So she's a lot like Trump. Goat killer, puppy killer, you name it.
They did one of those Mary Shack Kill things for her. That was trending on Twitter forever and ever and ever because she married one guy, had an affair with the other guy, and then killed the dog. It's like, Lord.
I don't think he would ever pick like an MTG, the barking chihuahua. She's, he doesn't want a loudmouth. He wants somebody that takes orders from him. So
it can't be upstaged.
And she's not attractive enough for him for a woman. If he's going to pick a woman, she's got to be attractive.
Pence was perfect because he was wallpaper. He was just in the background.
So let's ask this. Would he pick a family member to be his VP? He doesn't have to announce till the RNC convention in July, but would he pick a family member to be his VP?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
He would love to. Very well connected woman. Now you could easily say with the lover's card, it's Melania. At the same time, we know that he is in love with his own daughter, and she's always come up as the more connected of the two. He would love to, yes. I don't think he will, but he would love to.
I don't think it'll be Beavis or Butthead.
I'm just saying how much they do look like them, too. Thank Lord.
I eat Paste and Snippy. I get a big old yes. Yes, one that could get the vote. Maybe swing it for him. Someone he thinks of as a star, that would be Melania to me too, or Ivanka to me too.
That's a mess.
I get a yes, and it's somebody that there's something nefarious about the relationship. So that would, to me, be Ivanka.
Can we ask how if he picks a VP, if he doesn't, something horrible happens before? Because mind you, maybe that's why I was always saying DeSantis there. But would his VP do well against Kamala Harris in a debate? Very smart, very sharp.
Well, that definitely takes I eat Paste and Snippy out.
And we'll see if the fly makes a return to the new VP.
Yes, to come. Whatever her face, the gargoyle. Her name is.
Oh, Lord. No, there is the manipulator of the message and Ten of Swords. So, yeah. With the two fingers, I ain't a crook. There's that. And it's interesting, too. This is Ten of Swords, but all the coins are falling out of his mouth, too. So that's. I don't think so. Five of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. No. So whoever it is, search harder.
Yeah, and if it's Ivanka, somebody in the family that he's got an attachment to, no, they're iffy. They're interesting. Queen of Cups, which is my Ivanka card, causes anxiety. It's all for image, but it would all be to cast treachery and lies on Biden. So it would all be perception of who's watching it. If that makes sense.
All they have is the overseas stuff. They don't domestically. They can't point to something and say, "Oh, Biden is really screwing this up." Like you can't.
So the RNC Chief Counsel, Charlie Spies, what a last name for a Chief Counsel attorney, Spies, resigned after just 2 months. According to the RNC, he had time commitment conflicts. He said it didn't fit with his law firm clients' commitments. So 2 months and he's out. Trump suddenly, Trump approved him at first, but suddenly didn't like him after he saw videos of him criticizing Trump for the false election claims, the big lie back in 2020. So, Charlie Spies, why'd you really leave the RNC? He's got
Because the RNC spokesperson put out a message saying, "Oh, it's his private practice, and it's just conflicting with this. He can't divulge full. You can't have devote full time to the RNC. Y'all work 3 hours a week. You'd be all right."
Yeah.
Why did you really quit?
And was he forced out?
Maybe it's time. Maybe it's true.
Maybe he sees all the lawyers going down around Trump and decided, you know what? I don't want to be one of those in jail.
And he's saying, you know what? Lawyers are expensive. I ain't really got time for that right now. And didn't he do work for DeSantis as well? I think he did.
He's done some work for other Republicans, but
the King of Swords wants a new leader. The King of Swords from the King of Wands wants a new leader for the future there. First two cards is High Priestess, Nine of Swords. There's something done in secret to cause anxiety and stress. And the thing is some sort of letter or communication back and forth between the King of Swords and whoever holds the purse strings or whoever this person is here. Some sort of letter there to make sure that they get some sort of new leader in that capacity.
yeah, I get the boss wanted a new hire. Thought he was backstabbed. Like this was sudden, like, oh, we're gonna look for somebody else. Thank you very much for your service.
I get that he didn't get what he was desiring as far as business ventures.
Oh.
Because it's heart and scythe. What you desired is cut off, and then followed by the fish, business ventures. That led to him talking about his resignation. But there's also been a lot of talking with people that have experience, maybe, that may have mentored him, that this is going to end up bad, if you see what I'm saying. So, but I get not just backstabbing Trump and not getting Trump what he desired, but his self personally, the money.
Wasn't getting money he desired.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he ain't getting a cut of that, the grift, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah. So Kristi Noem, her little puppy goat killer, also claims in her new book, which she is now editing again, claimed that she met Kim Jong-un and stared him down, and that was discovered, of course, to be a lie. She's never met him.
Can I say something about Kristi Noem real quick that I had totally forgotten until I saw it on Twitter? Kristi Noem, the puppy killer and goat killer, goat torturer, because she didn't kill it the first time. Okay. She's also the lady that was bragging about her 2-year-old granddaughter having a gun.
Mm-hmm.
A 2-year-old with a gun. What could possibly go wrong with that scenario?
Maybe the governor getting taken out by a 2-year-old.
Or the 2-year-old accidentally playing with the gun and taking itself out.
Yeah.
You know?
So she's a limited term. Yeah, she's in a state where you can only run twice. So she's limited to being governor. So she can't run again. Some states you can be a governor longer. In some states you're limited to 2 terms. So does she have any political future now? Because as they said on MSNBC the other day, puppies are positive in the polls usually, but not in this case. Yeah, to me, like I immediately thought about serial killers tend to be animal killers when they're young, killing cats and dogs and stuff like that. I'm like, she's a sociopath. You look at Jeffrey Dahmer. They kill animals when they're young. She's a grown-up sociopath.
The whole thing is just, I was talking to you about this earlier, Jenny. She either lied about it to look tough, or she did it, and both scenarios are bad.
Yeah.
Both are just horrible. Because what would drive you to think, what does that say about you and your audience when you think saying something that terrible would be an accolade? You know what I mean? Like,
that you couldn't take it somewhere and let someone else adopt it that can train it.
I watch a lot of videos about dogs because, you know, just to train Braxy and stuff. I have seen so many videos on YouTube from dog trainers to dog enthusiasts to people that just have dog channels for their pets, just ripping her a new one.
Absolutely. I saw a guy that's written several books on dog training. He is like, you can bring your dog to me. I can train it to not
kill. Is that Goldberg? Because that's the one I watched today.
I think so.
There's the guy that I follow on YouTube, Jason Corey. He's got 2 Cane Corsos, and he did a video on what the hell is wrong with this woman. You know, like, and here's the thing. She said she killed the dog, Cricket, because it got out of the car and killed her neighbor's chickens or whatever. If you know that your dog is not obedient, is not trained, why is it not on a leash? Why is it not on a leash?
Are you letting it run around at all the chickens and pheasants and stuff?
I mean, it's just, it breaks my heart. Like, there's one thing I don't.
The goat was mean. Well, you know, I haven't seen a goat yet that doesn't knock somebody over eventually.
When I saw that, I kept thinking about when Peanut and I went to the pet thing over here, the zoo, and the little goats ran over. I'm talking the little tiny ones that look like they're 10 months pregnant.
They butt everything.
They ran into this kid because he walked in there with like a little thing of food, and we were cracking up, you know. But it's just like, I would never think to go and shoot the goats, you know, like, you know, goats are kind of a-holes, but they're funny. You know what I mean? Like, they're just doing what goats do, you know, but it's just gross. It's gross.
Her political career's over. Oh my God.
I get her political career's over, and so is the man that she's bowing down to. Power ends, also financial ruin. And then this person, a man. So yeah, she's going down with that ship.
And the Republican Party, like, they're all constricted down, and she's tied, you know, to Trump, and you know, there's going to be more illumination on stuff that they've done that is just going to put her in defense mode. There's lies that are going to come out, more lies besides meeting Kim Jong-un, that are going to make her anxious. She is dead, toast, done. And I get the victory goes to Biden. So, yeah, she goes down when Biden wins again.
Here's another thing to think about, just off topic. But what does it say about the Republican Party when they're okay with your kids going to school to get gunned down, with, Lord forbid, you have a pregnancy because we value life until it's out of the womb, and then it could be used by target practice by a mass murderer, but don't you dare shoot a dog. What does that say? You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
Her political career, because that was my thing the whole time. Because, you know, I'm not PETA animal activist. I ain't got a pet that I want down either. But I also don't want you shooting them either. But at the same time, here's my thing. People cried Argentina for the dog, but not the pheasant. You know, the pheasant's living, breathing, thinking too. And I eat meat, so they're not born fillet of steaks. And so I get it. But at the same time, what you did was not haunt your dog. You took it and killed it because you said it was not obedient. And the man I watched today said, it's a shame that you found the price of a bullet cheaper than just training the dog, when I know a few people in the state, your same state, that would have trained him for free. And so the mentality of her is what most people are now going to question.
And she has the money. It's not like she can't afford a dog trainer.
And on top of that, she bought a wired hair pointer.
Yeah.
That is what that dog is meant to do. It's doing what it was meant to do. It falls on you for not training that animal.
But her outlook is quite dim. There is the 5 of Cups, so there is some regret. It's not just this, though. It's like a whole host of things, because she can't get voted for anything. So not school class president, not prom queen, no nothing. And there's isolation. And then there is something around maybe lobbying or something of that nature. So she can move on to some sort of other venture, but politically,
she's toast.
And it's just I just don't understand them. She had 1,000,001 different options, and she went with the worst one. And I saw in the
and bragged about it. And
that's
then
the thing. Why did you think that's like Becca said, that somebody was just going to applaud you for doing something?
Yeah.
Like, oh, the dog wasn't obedient. There you go, kill it.
And I saw in the comments somebody was saying that she's just wanting to prove that her balls are bigger than Trump. Exactly. It's like Trump has
your story, though.
Trump has set the bar so low where it's cool to be a callous, cruel, evil person, and she had to one up him. I'm so cruel. I killed a puppy. I killed my own puppy.
As they said, she said it was a working dog. So it's like, okay, so you killed your employee. You killed your employee.
Bred to do the thing he just did.
Braxy is a working dog. There are days when I'm not feeling good, where I'm just like, God, I don't want to do this, but I get up off my butt and go work her for her own brain, or else she's going to drive me nuts. I would never think about killing my own dog. I would never even think about giving her up.
Well, speaking of brains, Matt Gaetz, a Florida state rep, has reported him for ethics because he invented a sex game to see how many lobbyists and staffers you can sleep with.
What is wrong with this boy?
Is he including males in that as well? Because
lobbyists and staffers, no sexual orientation is identified. But he created a sex game and gave points for how many lobbyists and staffers you could take to bed.
I would think that lobbyists would be predominantly male. So are you including males there too? Or are you having, because you all like to point anti-gay, anti-this.
Smarter than Matt Gaetz. Like, what the hell is wrong with him? They're investigating you.
And a fellow Republican
in this arena, let's like the OJ book. What if I did do it? Like, stay away from this.
Peggy,
like how I did it.
Nanny Biscuits in the chat is saying one thing is not like the other. Matt Gaetz and brains.
Because what is wrong with you?
I mean, we know he was showing photos of stuff and videos on the House floor to Congress people, and we know, Madison Cawthorn said there were sex parties and stuff. So, lobbyists and staffers, probably. If I had a child that graduated law school that wanted to go work for any Republican in Congress as a staffer, I'd be like, oh, hell no.
At this point, Matt Gaetz should be in the porn industry and not in Congress. If he has such a propensity for sex,
that's right.
Go into porn. At least you're doing.
He looks like a billy goat that got kicked in the face by a billy goat.
Watch out. Kristi Noem might shoot him.
That Dick Cheney vision. Is that what it is?
So I want to know, in 2025, when we flip that house, is Matt Gaetz going to be impeached out of Congress?
What is wrong with you?
He's a sex addict. On the younger side, and I think it goes both ways, male and female. Look at little Nestor that he adopted, but no adoption papers were ever presented.
I think you get to finish. Is his time nearing its end or something? There's 3 of wands.
Their terms are just 2
years,
so he has to rerun every 2 years.
There's something nearing its end. The 3 of wands is like a near completion of something, of initial something. There's a deal for him maybe to do something else. There's a whole boatload of money that comes with it too, whatever this deal is. And I think he may move on, but voluntarily. He doesn't want to, mind you, because what's better than being in Congress because you're untouchable. But he does get to go on to something else that brings him a lot of riches, like a whole lot, like a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, he'll be in porn.
It's bestiality at that point.
Women are going to bring him down. So, yeah, whether it's the ethics committee that's investigating him or what, but I also get there's like a strong indictment coming for him. So that will take him out. That's a big yes card. But it's for something else besides this little sex game stuff that he's doing. Maybe has to do with securing elections, so election integrity or something. He's got a finger in that, along with a few other people.
I get the snake, the whip, and the bouquet. His days are numbered. He's a chronic problem, a chronic liar, a chronic betrayer. There's addictions there as well. And it's all around pleasurable sex, pleasure, joy. Do you see what I'm saying? But he's a chronic liar, chronic betrayer. His days are numbered, I would say. I don't know about expulsion, but there's a problem here around sex, lying about sex, and gifting for sex. If that makes sense, and addictions. The bouquet is the Queen of Spades. This is usually younger people. So, just keep that in mind. So, yeah.
They're supposedly having the vote this week, thanks to MTG, on whatever you call it, kicking out the speaker.
Vacating the chair.
So let's see. Mike Johnson, are you going to get vacated?
I mean, everybody's seen them eating each other, basically. But this is carrying on a bit long. And I mean, I don't know why I thought it was going to be over for some reason, but I'm enjoying the show. I must say.
The cannibalism.
Like, this is ridiculous. It's a sad thing because, mind you, this is the government that helps our country function. But at the same time, we could do with less of them. We really could. So eat more.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is just a whole nother level of stupid.
Who was she talking to? Crazy face. What's this, Bannon, saying that Fox News called her an idiot or something like that?
Yeah, they wrote an article that she's an idiot.
That was the nice version, darling.
She's, a gnat has more purpose than Marjorie Taylor Greene. She does nothing. It's like, I wonder what she even does for her district. Does she even do any? Does she try to secure funds for her district? I mean, what is she doing?
Causing a mess. Oh.
No, she couldn't even be dog catcher, Delilah. She screwed that up, true.
Start with herself. I don't think he's going anywhere. That doesn't mean this is over. There is a retreat of this group here. So I guess whoever it is eventually does stop, maybe at this leg of the race. But there is still a desire with the 5 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, and the 9 of Swords to see him gone. So they're not going to stop the fighting because there's no unity. There's just not technically enough people to get rid of him, I suppose, for now.
Yep. I'm getting there's a lot of surprises coming up this week. That, you know, looking at options of who could be speaker and illumination on some more thievery. I get a no card, but I think this may come up again. So he might not get kicked out as speaker right now, and there's a retreat, but I get they'll go after him again and victory on that. And it may be when there's more indictments or another big bill that gets passed, something like that they get pissed off at.
I get the clouds, the woman, and the writer. The question was, will Mike Johnson be vacated from his chair? That's a no. That's a problematic woman that's delivering something. But this is an action card. So she just brings nothing but trouble. And because it's woman and writer, this could also be read as a woman that just brings problems, but she is doing this. So it's almost like, because she's such a huge problem and all she does is bring more and more and more and more problems, that leaves her on the out. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't know what act of God it's going to take for the GOP to finally be like, we've had it with you. We're taking you to an ethics committee or whatever. We want you out. Do you see it? Because she does nothing but problems. And the clouds is the worst card in the deck. So she just brings problems, 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 problems. So I don't know.
Rondell says, people said MTG acts like an idiot. Newsflash, she ain't acting. There you go.
Yeah, she's acting. No, Rondell.
Because she's not.
So remember the Chinese guy, the billionaire Guo Wingzhu, that was he left China, ran from China because they wanted him there for issues, but he's a billionaire. And it was on his yacht off the coast of Connecticut where Steve Bannon was arrested by the post office. Remember that? Thank you, Ann. Well, the DOJ had a release this week in a filing called Steve Bannon a co-conspirator in the massive criminal fraud and racketeering case that's like over $1 billion with Guo Wingay, or however you say his name. So Steve Bannon.
He's a little busybody, isn't he? He's got his hands all up in all the pots.
He's got his hands up, and now he's in with racketeering and criminal fraud. And Steve Bannon, how is you're a co-conspirator? Are you going to get indicted for working with this Chinese billionaire? Throw his ass in jail, see if he dries out. He just looks like a drunk to me. like a sloppy, messy drunk.
Like he just woke up in the back of a cab with no wheels on it.
Like he hadn't showered in 10 years.
But after what was it that the stuff he got in trouble for that he got pardoned on? That was for this build the wall stuff that they stole money from, right? And all that money that he stole, he used all of it for like plastic surgeries and stuff, because before he used to look like the Walking Dead with all those things all over his, those are all gone, you know, like
Raiders.
Uh-huh.
I asked what happens to Steve Bannon out of this. There's the Chariot and the Page of Wands. The Chariot is teamwork challenged by messaging. So there may be someone who has already delivered some damning evidence that maybe he hasn't had a chance to get on the same page with, or there is some sort of physical evidence out there or communications back and forth between him and subject A and B that sort of do him in. There's already been enough talking in the past to at least bring a case, so I think that's going to go forward. There's nothing but anxiety and stress and worry and about the schemes with the 7 of Swords and 9 of Swords. How does it end for him is what it asks, and it ends in the 5 of Swords. That's the card of defeat. Knight of Swords and the 5 of Swords. So chaos and defeat, or swift defeat. So maybe he'll be incarcerated after all.
Mm-hmm.
With no Trump to save him.
He's going to be making license plates. And I get there's a woman that may testify to the courts or in this criminal case that they're asking questions of. So there's a woman that has a lot of stuff that they go after him. So she's a whistleblower. She's got more info on him. Yeah, because like money was put in a bank in was it Abu Dhabi or somewhere, and then it was transferred to one of Steve Bannon's bank accounts. So yeah, that was not a terrible donation. It was much larger. That's what they're going to take an action on, and yeah, he's going to be put in defense mode and making license plates.
I got the Tower, the Clover, and the Bear. Law, chance, strong. There's a strong chance that the law is coming for you, Steve. But also it's about financial opportunities, financial risks. So this isn't, it's almost like it's doubling on the question about him with all the financial stuff. This would be like a bank. There's a very strong chance strong, that the law is coming after you for financial stuff. So
for criminal money laundering and racketeering.
Oh,
couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I'm sure that little podcast is going to get him all out of all the trouble that he's in. And I saw in the chat too, I think it was Cece that's saying that that his build the wall scam stuff is supposed to be starting in New York later this year. I think she said September, if I read that correctly.
I was going to say, I don't think that's what he was pardoned for, because that charge came up after Trump was out, after the pardon.
So what was he pardoned for? What did Trump pardon him for? I could have sworn it was the build the wall scam.
CC, help us out. What was Bannon pardoned for? I can't remember.
But she was saying that trial starts, I think she said September, with Judge Merchan in New York. He was pardoned for the federal charge. Yeah, but the federal charge for what? That's what and then they're saying the federal charge for building the wall.
Oh, for build the wall. So he's got state of New York charges for build the wall. Okay, it starts in July. Gotcha. Can't pardon him on the state charges.
On the state, no.
So, just to be fair, we have a Democrat that got in trouble again. You know, first we had the guy that had the
Menendez.
Yeah, Menendez. Well, now we've got a Dem from Texas, Henry. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Cuellar. Cuellar.
What is it?
Cuellar. Cuellar.
Swellar.
And his wife Amilda. are charged with bribery, unlawful foreign influence, and money laundering. They accepted a $600,000 bribe from two foreign entities, an oil and gas company from, I can't pronounce this country either, Azerbaijani, and a bank headquartered in Mexico. So $600,000 foreign influence. They were going to, he was supposed to affect laws and direction that Congress would go. He took a $600,000 bribe, unlawful foreign influence, and money laundering. So how's this going to go for him and his wife? Because his wife's name is all over the LLCs the money was transferred into. So see, we got
from Azerbaijan, from somebody over there.
Well, it came from a bank there. That doesn't mean that's where it originated. It could have come from Russia or Saudi Arabia or wherever, and ran through there, ran through a bank in Mexico. But he was supposed to influence like oil and gas stuff.
Oh, can I ask a question after this?
Mm-hmm.
Since we're talking oil and gas.
Mm-hmm.
It's about that article that I sent you on Twitter.
Henry and Imelda, I'll call them. How's this case going to go against you? Congressman from Texas.
He's going down for sure. The Emperor and the Four of Swords. I don't think his sentence is going to be all that harsh, though, or should I say his punishment? Because they could sentence him to 10 years and he'll do 1 or something. It's cut very, very short with the Four of Swords. The Two of Cups and the Eight of Wands, there's a lot of cooperation. So I guess at some point they will stop with the not guilty thing. Word of warning is the Page of Cups. So this is surprises and things that you are not expecting. And it happens around this woman here. So I guess that maybe this is, I don't know if that's his wife. This is somebody who may have initiated some sort of records or something overseas here with the Three of Wands and overseas connection. But there's a lot of chaos around them. There could be not a judgment. What would you call it? The judgment is here, but like a court order or something of that nature that you're hoping for, that you're trying to broker a deal for. So all of that's coming up and coming out. There's something else though that's not a part of the initial indictment. So I think they got him over the barrel. So if he's not cooperating already, he will be eventually.
I'm getting there's a little bit of a setup on this because I think there's 3 people involved. I'm getting all these 3 cards. Betrayal. I think, his wife, like, he'll try to change things for her and, profess like her innocence, so to speak, try to get a lighter sentence for her. He's not going to like what's coming his way. So I think he'll get convicted. But I think there could be some Republicans that were working behind the scenes on this. Like, hey, go bribe this guy. That's interesting because I didn't get that with Menendez. I got, Menendez did what he did.
Gold bars in his house.
Yeah. There's something weird going on with this one. What you getting, Becca?
Houseman, Moon, Fish, Crossroads, Lilies, and Tower. Eventually down the road, because it looks like it's going to take a while for his case and everything go through the courts, yada, 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 yada. It looks like isolation eventually. But it's Man House, Moon. Was he in the House of Representatives?
Yes.
There's people there, a lot of people there that are from across the aisle that make decisions and vote that are conservative. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't think it's just him. And if I look at the pips, there's the man, the king of hearts, the king of diamonds, the queen of diamonds, and the king of spades. There's more than him and his wife involved in this. And it's around his career where he gets his fame. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people. It's not just him and his wife. There's a lot of people and different routes that they took financially. And then it's, if I do the mirroring, it's man, moon, crossroads, and tower. So him and his career, his reputation, and then the choices that he's going to have to make when it comes to the law. Also votes that he made for the law. And then it's house, fish, and lilies. A lot of members, the house members, the entourage, fish, a lot of business, and then conservatives. So I don't think he was, if I'm looking at pips along with the reading the line across, I don't think it was just him and his wife.
It's not just him. There's a whole
3, 4, 5. I can see 5 people right off the bat that I can count. So
wow. So Becca, you want to explain that article?
Oh, okay. So earlier this week I had sent Jenny an article of I guess, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, the FTC has filed a serious complaint for gas prices against certain companies for price fixing. Well, it turns out that one of, I think he was an executive, was he?
ExxonMobil and a smaller company that they
ExxonMobil, a smaller company, and I think there was 2 more. I think there was 4 companies total. One of the main people, I forget his name. I should have written it down.
He was CEO.
The CEO was calling OPEC to tell them to slow down production. And then he was also colluding with 3 other companies to slow down production so that they can raise the gas prices and price gouge everybody. So that has been the complaint filed by the FTC. The gentleman that I sent Jenny on the video, I didn't catch his name. Well, I did. I just don't remember it. He was saying that he wouldn't be surprised if the DOJ gets involved in this as well. Not just because of the price gouging, but because of how he was colluding with competitors along with OPEC to price gouge. So I can't remember his name, but I would like to know if the DOJ is going to get involved. And then Exxon, to clean their hands, was like, well, he's not going to be on the board of directors anymore. Well, you already did the crime. And here's the thing. How many billions of dollars did you guys make in your little price scheming thing to only get fined a few million? That's like, like.
It's really interesting how
25
gas prices always go up in an election year. Why? Because somebody is messing around doing something, right?
Yeah, but what's funny is that this guy got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, calling foreign nations and OPEC and telling them, slow down production, slow it down.
Which means they had to have had a wiretap on him. So there's probably a what do you call it, a FISA warrant on him.
I'm not sure.
Because they had phone call records from him.
Uh-huh.
So there had to be a whistleblower.
I don't know, but I want to know if the DOJ is going to get involved, because you can't tell me. And this is the thing that ticks me off. When COVID happened, prices, and even after COVID, prices for gas went through the roof. I was paying over $8 a gallon here. $8 a gallon. People in Los Angeles were paying over 10. And it's just
this whole thing with this rep in Texas could be tied to it too, because they've been pushing production out of Azerbaijan, or however you say it. They've been pushing production out of there, and it sounds to me like there's probably Russian connections in with all that.
Mm-hmm. But
Because Russia got a lot of their oil production cut off.
yeah, I was just talking to Peanut about this, and it's just like they just made trillions of dollars, because this goes back to 2021. This goes back to 2021. So the year after the pandemic was ramping and the prices went through the roof, and they were, OPEC and because of the pandemic. No, they were actively price fixing. They were all colluding to price fix. So you think about that. How many trillions of dollars did they make? And then the FTC will come in and fine them a couple million. Okay, so I just robbed a bank $300 million. I'm only going to pay a quarter in fines. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, is the DOJ going to get involved in this whole situation? Because that's just
the only fine I've seen that was pretty substantial had to do with Trump's accounting firm that got caught with massive fraud and can no longer be an auditor or accounting firm. They got charged $1.5 billion, I think.
Yeah, $1.5 billion. And
I remember in New Jersey, wasn't it a spill or some sort of disaster that happened there? And Chris Christie at the time was, mind you, his legal department was saying, okay, the fine against this company, $9 billion. He got $300 million out of it because he shrunk it down.
Yeah, they shrunk it down.
Okay. Yeah, but back to Johnny's point, how many billions of dollars did they make? Mm-hmm. So there is no incentive to not do it. Why not take the risk when you can bank on making trillions of dollars and only paying a couple million in fines? There's no incentive. There's no jail time. There's no nothing. So who's to stop them from doing it again? So
I don't know if DOJ gets involved because it didn't answer that part, but there is some movement on this because there's a lot. This is deeper. The moon it shows you a surface, but never believe the reflection you see. There's always something underneath. The reflection is just showing you the obvious so that you would look at it and say, okay, that's the answer and move on. But there's always something underneath it. And the Knight of Wands is a progression. So somebody is doing some sort of looking into this. There is the Ten of Swords and the Five of Wands. So there will be someone going down for this. So if I was to just say yes or no, I would say yes, because there's something happening to someone and there is some conflict and battle about it. However, when it comes to the oil company, King of Pentacles, there's the Ace of Pentacles. It's just an opportunity to make more money because something else happens after that. And as far as fines go, it's a raindrop in the ocean.
Yeah. This was the guy that I think
it's not the person in the chat is not Rex Tillerson. This is somebody that we've never even heard about.
This is the guy that I was about to say that replaced Rex when Rex went into Trump's administration. Mm-hmm. I forget his name. I get DOJ's going to go after do an investigation, go after them, look into, ask questions over all these manipulations. This is going to be a long, could be a 2-year investigation because there's so much thievery going on and shifting of prices and stuff. But the fines, to Johnny's point, are going to be a drop in the bucket to, just minimal compared to the billions that they've made.
Just start jailing people. Make it an incentive because you know what? Okay, the government gets a couple million. What about the people that were getting?
Yeah, do a charge that isn't a monetary fine. Do a charge that has a jail sentence attached.
Yeah, because the FTC comes in. Okay, now you're going to pay $300 million. Okay, so where's my check when I overpaid for the last 2-3 years because these suckers were I'm not getting a dime of that. I'm not, and my pay didn't go up. So I get that there's going to be investigations into the fraud with energy and the way that they do business because there's fraud here. Fraud, energy, business. A lot of it. A lot of fraud with energy. So
what? I had 2 other things that I just wanted to mention. We're not going to read on it, but Boeing, their Starliner spacecraft with NASA is launching tomorrow night. So let's hope the doors don't fall off, right? The windows fall out or the escape, whatever.
Can we stick Elon Musk and Donald Trump on there and just
Yeah.
send them to the moon?
On a positive note, the Methodists removed anti-LGBTQ policies from their book of discipline, which is like their rules, and they're now allowing inclusivity of clergy and members in the Methodist Church that are LGBT.
That is because the United Methodist Church has broke apart, because some of the churches within the large umbrella group were not going to be anti-LGBT, and then the umbrella was like, no, that's not really how we roll, and it's like, well, that's how we roll, and so then they did the fracture thing.
Yeah, they said they had like 7,000 churches or something that pulled out from them when they fractured that.
And which goes back to my conversation that I always have with Johnny about these Christian nationalists. Y'all can't agree amongst yourselves, so which one of you all is going to take over? You know what I mean?
There's some more religions that follow suit that realize, you know what, there's nothing wrong with LGBTQ.
Because here's the thing: how can you argue that God is perfect, all-knowing, and doesn't make any mistakes, but then somehow God created gays and transgender people? Because now you're saying that's a mistake on God.
And keep in mind, homosexuality is not a human trait.
Yep.
It's in nature, period. So either nature got it right and got it right, God got it wrong, or nature got it right and you got it wrong.
Yep.
But mind you, in the Bible, the man should not lay with another man came from a man, not God. Just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Church is over.
Well, next week for Mother's Day will be on Becca's channel, but I hope you all have a wonderful Mother's Day Sunday morning. We'll see you Sunday night. Until next week. Don't be playing sex games with Matt Gaetz.
No, don't do it. And if you do, make sure he wraps it at least 20 times. And you were
No, if you do, bring these.
Biohazard.
And use your imagination.
What cooties that man's rolling around with?
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't hook up with MTG. I guess she's too old for him.
She looks like a. Let me just shut my mouth.
Now you sound like
said the Little Shop of Horrors is a play, not reality.
Good night, everybody.